Hi, this is Stella again. I'm here to share my last testimony, the last video clip. So I shared how I went to the cult called Shincheonji and how I got out of that cult. So I shared with you the conversion experience that I went through. But yeah, many people were thinking that now I'm fine because I got out of the cult. Now I left the cult, so she's now okay. But then that was not the happy ending. That's not the end. I was not fully recovered spiritually or physically or mentally. I had still broken relationships with my friends and family, my parents, and even with God. So, especially my parents were always they always brought up this conversation with this about this cult still every day about the cult, how this cult is so bad, how they are always lying, this is why you lied, and they didn't really trust me. Are you still lying to us? Are you saying the right thing? Are you being honest? Uh, Whether it's a joke or not, it's not easy to take that. And a lot of the times they were serious about, saying about the cult. Just listening to the conversation about this cult every day was difficult. And I finally decided I have to go somewhere again. We went to this center called Serunam Center. Um, this is a place where a lot of people with different problems come for help, whether it's physically or mentally or spiritually or psychologically. So people with cancer, incurable diseases, this sleeping disorder, uh, mental mental problems, psychological problems, they all come. Depression. And I saw how they, even though they're all going through different problems, experience this recovery in God. It was amazing to see how they were experiencing this recovery. Even if even if it's something that the doctors, their personal doctors said, they will not recover from it, the but they did. And this place, this center, didn't have a specific or special treatment or pills. No, they didn't have anything. It was just healthy lifestyle, uh, healthy diet, exercise, water, rest, sun, and on top of that, every day, 2 times a day, they're having a lecture based on the Bible. So there was a speaker who is running the center, and he will give us this session or a lecture about God and His forgiveness and His love. And when people accept this love of God, they were free from it. They're free from their own slavery to their illness, to a spiritual enemy. I wanted to experience that too. I still didn't have any peace in my heart. I asked for it. God, please, I want to have that peace. I still do not have that peace, and I don't think I met you. I really want to meet you again. So that was the prayer that I had every day for, I don't know, for a month or two, constantly. It was such a serious spiritual battle. And I knew I had to go through this, or I didn't know what else to do, where to go, where to start from. I've been going through so many things and I had to do this. I had to do something about this. I have to meet God. I have to have that peace. And one day, just like the promise in the Bible, Jeremiah chapter 29, He met me. He met those people who desire to meet him, who really seek him. He really met me. Even though I've been praying for a lot of time, the moment he met me was pretty brief. In 5 minutes, he gave me everything. He helped me to realize what I was going through. It was all about spiritual battle. So more than anything, I saw Jesus on the cross. I didn't know what it really means to me personally. I knew it. I knew that Jesus died for us, for the humanity, us, sinful human beings. But I didn't know that he did it for me specifically, or I didn't really get it or understand it. It was just a theory or a knowledge in the back of my mind. But this time, I saw him on the cross. Why? I knew what I have done so far, and the cult to my parents, to the loved ones, I've been lying to them. I didn't tell them everything, but I know how deceitful I was. I know everything that I did in their back. I know what I did in the bathrooms, or try to be sneaky and meet those people from the cult, my friends that I saw as my spiritual friends and family. I just did so many deceitful things. I could not forgive myself. And I said to myself, you know what? I deserve to be sick. I deserve to be, physically broken apart. Or just anyway, I deserve to be in this situation because I committed so many sins. I'm so sinful. I cannot forget it. I forget it or forgive myself. And Jesus on the cross was telling me that he forgave it for me. He would forgive it for me, and he forgave it for me on the cross 2,000 years ago. He was trying to say that, you know what? I'm going to forgive you. You don't have to feel guilty about it. You don't have to be responsible for all those sins. I paid for it. When I really came down to me, I couldn't help but crying, and say, thank you. I'm finally free from the guilt that I had all throughout. And the forgiveness, the loving picture of God. So I had this obedience issue. I wanted to obey God, but I didn't want to at the same time because I felt like God would have me do something that I don't want to. Because that was the problem I had with my parents. My parents would always tell me to do something I didn't like to, like go do dentistry or medical or stuff like that. And I wanted to be a good daughter, and I always did it, and it was really difficult. I had so many grudges against them, and some kind of hatred against them was building on me. So always didn't want to obey. I had that issue. And I think that kind of applied to God too. I didn't want God to tell me something to do what I didn't want to do. So it was really hard to just even think about obeying to God, submit myself to God. And this time when I saw Jesus on the cross, I thought to myself, you know what? If Jesus is Jesus who dies for me, who wants the happiest life for me, who's not going to force me to do something that I don't want to, then I'm going to follow him. Then I'm going to say yes to him. Then I know he will lead me to the place that I will be happy. Because of that, now I'm here, able to share what happened to me. Because of that, the forgiveness from God. So through that I was healed. I had this recovery experience in God. So I was thinking, wow, it's not the issue of being in the cult or not. I saw people at the center, the Serenam Center, which means reborn. You're born again. So I saw people going through so many different things, and they were slaves to Satan. Satan really wants us to believe in ourselves, our own judgment, our emotions, our thoughts, our wisdom. And that was the beginning of the sin, everything, the pride, ego. It's not about the cult. Whether you're in the cult or not, Satan could be everywhere. Satan was in all individuals, working in all the individuals' hearts. I didn't know that Satan can give or put thoughts into our hearts. Just like he did in John chapter 13, verse 2, he put thoughts into Judas to betray Jesus. And if we hold on to that thought, who is becoming our host, the owner of our body? The more and more we submit to the thoughts that Satan gives us, the more we are becoming his slave. The more we become less capable of controlling our bodies, controlling ourselves. That's why there are addicts, people who are addicted to things, whether it's eating, shopping, alcohols, drugs. They're addicted to it because first, they thought this could give them pleasure. That's what they think that's, gonna be good for them or stuff like that. But eventually it leads them to a point that they cannot control themselves. And where would that thought come from? So that's exactly what happened to me. I didn't know that Satan could give me thoughts. I thought all those thoughts that I have are mine. The Holy Spirit gave me thoughts that I could not think of to compare and see the differences of the cult and what Jesus said in the Bible. And Satan could also give me the simple thoughts like, you have to go jump out of the window, but then you will live. You have to live spiritually. For the sake of your spiritual life, you have to jump out of the window, then you will live. And it was not true. God didn't purposely putting himself into a dangerous position and, use his power to save himself. Just like the same thing. I was believing in my judgment. I thought that's the right thing to do. Satan wants us to believe in the thoughts that he gives us, the emotions or feelings. Whether something looks right, logical, or even biblical, still, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's really right or it's going to be really God's way. So whenever Satan tried to give me baits, situations, try to make some situations as if it looks like it's from God, answers to my prayers, using a dream, people, or in the Bible. I didn't even question about it. I didn't doubt. I just said, okay, this is from God. Oh, this is from God. This is from God. God is working in this cult. God is working with me. No question about it. And I fell completely. So, really, I realized that I can't trust myself. I can't trust my own judgment. The conviction I had in the cult with all my mind, soul, and body, it happened to be false. It was so hard to admit because, it's something that I've been holding onto for years. against all those people around me, even though they're my loved ones. But what I thought as right, with so much conviction, I was so assured of, was wrong. I can be wrong. And that's what I missed. I did not let my judgment down before God. I did not give my whole self to God. Looking back, I was wondering why I fell in this cult when I thought I was being such a good Christian. I was having always a daily devotion, uh, sometimes even sharing testimonies with many people at churches, leading Bible studies, small groups, volunteering work, mission trips, listening to countless sermons, just a lot of things, offerings. I thought I thought I was a good Christian. I thought I was giving enough time and effort for him, but I didn't give myself to him. I was giving him my sacrifice, my offering, good offerings, but he said he wants us than the offering. He wants us to obey him and then just give him offering. So I'm here to say that was my spiritual life was like. I thought I would ask his guidance for my life. I prayed for his help. I prayed for his guidance. God, please let me know. But then, when it comes down to a point that I have to make a decision, I was following my own judgment. And I thought that is God's judgment. That is the wisdom that comes from God. That is a huge mistake. That was a huge mistake I made for my life. And that was why I had to, or that was why I fell. Completely fell. Now I know that I cannot trust myself anymore, my judgment. I have to even let all of those things down before Him and ask God for help. God, please help me to distinguish which is from you, which is from Satan. Yes, sometimes one option looks good. It looks right. It looks perfectly, perfectly right. We have to make this decision, but it might not be right. We have to even let go of that. We have to even let that down. Submit our logic down. And He will show us His way. I know that because I experienced that many times since my experience at the cult. Now I know God is a loving God. My doctor told me that I would not be able to walk. It was 50% chance, or my physical therapist told me that I would be walking with canes on each one of my hand. But I'm not walking without any canes. I'm walking, I would say, yeah, such a progress, such a recovery, thanks to God. And it's beyond what science or this modern society, modern technology can do for me. I can say that this is the grace of God who healed me. And I know that the reason why I could share this is that I want you to know that the spiritual battle is real. God and Satan, they exist. And they constantly give us thoughts into our heart, like our minds. Every day, every single moment, we have so many different thoughts, and we have to distinguish which comes from God or not. Because a lot of times we don't even question about it. And we're so accustomed to those simple thoughts that Satan give us, because we're simple. We are born as simple, so we're accustomed to, we're more comfortable with those simple thoughts that Satan gives. But we have to realize that we can't just go for what seems right to us. because we're simple. Our judgment is simple. We can't trust ourselves. Let us kneel down before Him, who is without sin, who is perfect, who wants the happiest lives for us, who will lead us. Without Him, we cannot change. We try so hard to make a change in our lives, we cannot. It's only through God's mercy, His power, can we change just a little thing. Even if it's a little thing, it's only Him who can change us. I hope and pray that this really spoke to you, and let us look at God, not misunderstand God as Satan wants us to look at. Satan wants us to look at God as harsh, stubborn, selfish God, and scary God. But God has been always there for me, and He always promises that He'll be with us. He'll be with us, and He will give us the power to overcome. This testimony, this temptation, trials, trials and temptations, not easy, but I could overcome it because God helped me. And just like the Bible, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13, He only allows us to have those temptations that we can bear. He doesn't want to give us the temptation in the beginning, but think about the story of Job. It was Satan who gives the temptations because Satan is, testing whether Job is really the man of God. Satan is always going to do the same thing for us, God's people. God's people. He will always say that. He's not your person. She's not your person. Do this, and you'll see that she's not your person. God trusts us. He has faith in us, and He has to show that we are His people to everyone before Satan. So He allows us to go through that because He knows, or He trusts us to have or express our faith. Only if we express our faith in Him, only if we grab hold of Him, He will help us. We can fall, but we can always rise up again because we can hold on to Him. I want you to have that peace with God and, accept His forgiveness, His love. Thank you.